Hey, this is Coach Marty,
And this is Lori.
and it's time for That Sports Couple.
What?
Brought to you by
Diamond Distributing.
Colonial Exterminating Company,
Edward Jones, C. Robert Hemel.
Wendy Benedetto, Matter in Blue,
Sports Pub, Dusterhead.
Adam Roussel, Riverbed, Carroll Peak, River Parishes Trophies,
The Seafood Pod. Laplace Glassworks. Welcome to That Sports Couple. This is episode 5, season 2, episode 5. We are That Sports Couple. I am Lori Lyons, the longtime sports writer,
Yes, she is.
and he is Marty Luquette, the longtime coach.
Yes, I
And together we make up That Sports Couple. And this is our little podcast, weekly podcast we do to talk about stuff and to keep you up to date on River Parishes football.
Let me say this.
What?
It's midnight, and we're doing our show because it's baseball season, and I've been watching the playoffs.
You've been watching baseball.
And to give you a day, let you know what day it was, the Dodgers just closed out the Reds. Dodgers are playing well.
I'm fine. You like the Dodgers.
Dodgers are
Dodgers
playing
are
well.
one of his teams. Yep.
Yep.
And I see the pictures and I go, he looks like a middle schooler.
They do. They are young.
They're young.
All teams are young, not just the Dodgers.
And I am wearing my Norco. It's Norco High School, which is California, but
Behind that sports
it's
couple.
behind that sport. There you go. There you can see it. Norco. We live in Norco. We are not from Norco, but we are transplants. We've lived here more than 30 years, however.
Half our life.
Does that matter?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this weekend, Norco is having a birthday party. You think there'll be cake?
I'm sure they would.
I hope there's cake. Norco will be celebrating its 100th birthday. They're having a big celebration on Saturday beginning at 1 o'clock at the town square. It's really a triangle, but you know, the town square, where the veterans memorial is and where we put the Christmas tree during when we have the Christmas parade. We'll talk about that too. But anyway, they're going to have food and music and pony rides and snowballs and
Can't wait. I'm going to walk outside.
and if you're in the neighborhood, come say hi. Come see my new kitchen.
It is literally across the street from our house.
Literally across the street. We live across the street from the mural.
They are blocking off the whole
The
block,
whole block.
and it's going to be a big block party. And then first time I've seen this happen, and I'm excited about it.
We're gonna go. We're gonna walk over, mosey on over. So if you come to Norco and you see us, or we'll be home because we won't be able to get out.
I just made a statement in there. I said Saturday is the beginning of the second round of the playoffs, and Lori quickly reminded me that I would have to watch it on my iPad
Because it's
college football. But you can be outside.
I'm only going for a little. I'll go in between games and half times and.
If you want to see you, then come by the pool.
I won't be in the pool Saturday. I'll be in the pool Sunday. Yeah, by the way, I mean, it's October 1st. It was 89 degrees today, and I was in the pool. And like 1 or 2, 4 leaves, and that was it. And I am soaking it up. My Confederate roses started blooming this week. They start out white in the morning and pink in the afternoon. I'm just, the longer the better.
And you are certainly enjoying it.
I am. I have hand lines and everything.
And instead, I ended up with a route from Laplace to Mount Airy, and then I pick up in Mount Airy.
I'm in Baton Rouge.
Pick up in Mount Airy, and where are they going? And they went to Baton Rouge. So I knocked around Baton Rouge all afternoon.
You are the Uber coach.
I was everywhere today. Prairieville, I got to see the new school. I drove right past it. Oh yes, again, I've been there, played there. It's a beautiful place.
I was in the pool.
It's a college campus. Good job, Ascension Parish. You did a good job.
Also, a heads up, if you don't make it to Norco this Saturday, December 7th, the first Sunday in December, is the annual Norco Christmas Parade. It literally ends at our house. Santa gets off the float in front of our house. We have a big open house. We'll be here, food, bathroom, new kitchen. Parking is first come, first park. So if you know us. But sometimes Marty and I will walk around and go, do you know who that is? And we'll go, no, I don't know who that is. And there's just random people walking around our house.
Yeah, that happens every year.
Every year.
And
I'm a friend of, okay.
well, and the Norco Civic Association funds some of our food, and they have workers come in
Yeah.
and police come over,
Police.
and it's kind of a central location, easy to get to towards the end of the parade.
And the 610 Stompers will be in the parade this year. I hope they don't all come to eat.
We don't have enough chicken tenders. We never buy them before. And the unique part about our house is that the parade starts a half a block away and it finishes right in front, so you can see it twice.
And and Santa lands on the levee and by helicopter.
Right by the house.
And he flies over the house. It's fun. It's lots of fun. But Santa literally and Mrs. Claus are literally in our house before and after the parade. So you got little ones that want to see Santa. And we do take pictures with Santa at the Christmas tree at the triangle across the street. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. And it's been happening since 2001 with a couple of exceptions. And so we're used to it now.
Rain and COVID, the only things that get us.
And the hurricane. We didn't have it after Ida. There was still a porta potty in front of our house that was not usable. This time we have a porta potty in front of our house, but you can use it. So that's it. So Norco, and I'm wearing my shirt from Norco High School in California. There are two Norcos. The one here that we live in is the New Orleans Refining Company. It's an acronym. The one in California also is an acronym, Northern California Railroad Company, I believe it is. And for a few years, as we get set for the Christmas parade, we would have people from California say, hey, we want to be in your parade. And we'd say, okay, but you got a long way to go. It took a little while before they figured out that there were two. And they do have a Christmas parade. Theirs is a horse and buggy one at night. Ours is daytime.
News to me. I didn't know that.
See?
Educational.
I'm trying to teach you some stuff. All right, so we talked about Norco, and we talked about the 100th birthday, and we talked about the Norco Christmas parade, and we talked about the weather. Weird. And you talked about baseball. We'll talk some more about baseball.
Well, it's just the best time of the year when the playoffs are all starting, and the last week I talked about the last week and how exciting that was, and now they're into the wild card round of the playoffs, and 3 of the 4 series are going into the third game, so the deciding game. So that's pretty exciting. That's good stuff,
Who do I want to root for?
Don't know. You pull for somebody different every year. Usually the teams you pull for at the beginning of the year don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, but then whoever I pick in the playoffs,
I like the Orioles. Nope. I like the Giants. Nope. I think you like orange.
I like them, but I was for the Fighting Fish one year and they won it. And then
Yeah, you picked them when they were in
they
it.
had a fire sale the next year. Got rid of everybody. All right. Well, we're in October. It's week 5 of the football season. By the way, today's October 1st. Do you know what happened today? Besides all this other stuff.
October 1st.
October 1st.
Something
An
history.
anniversary.
Something history or something personal?
Personal history.
I know that, but go ahead and tell us.
So 39 years ago today, October 1st, 1986, this young chick walked into the Times-Picayune office for her first day of work. I was the only female in the office, and it was the night shift from 5 to 11 or 12 or whatever time we got off work. And they said, hey, you need to go to Bud's Broiler and get dinner for all of us. And I was like, okay. I had just driven from Houma, and that was my first task. And then I spent the next couple of weeks like watching a lot because it was easier for them to do it than it was to teach me how to do it. But eventually I did learn, and I was an agate clerk for a good 6 months. And then I became the clerk in the office. And then
Full-time?
And then in 1991, they moved me to the River Parishes with the lovely pat on the back that if this doesn't work out, you don't get to come back.
Worked out.
Worked out. And I spent 20 something years there until 2012 when I and 200 other fine people were laid off from the Times-Picayune and things changed. And since then, I think I've had 7 jobs.
Well, Picayune wanted to go digital, so they cut their staff. You see how well that worked for them.
Yeah.
You know, they went out of business in no time.
Well, they still have a paper now.
Yeah, right.
I haven't seen one in
Who
ages.
reads it?
I read it online.
You're it.
But anyway, so there you go. So today's my work anniversary. 39 years. Hopefully, my original retirement date was March 8th, March 7th.
I want to go back to you. I
2027.
want to go back to you saying you read it.
I do.
So if you want to see or read something about sports, you go to the NOLA. No, you go to Trahan.
Yeah.
You go to Trahan. Nobody goes to NOLA. No, nobody goes.
There's a story about one of the teams I know, but very rarely is there. They don't cover us.
They'd have to get out of their office to have a story about it.
They think this is like the end of the earth. They used to think that then.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have to go out, all the way out to Edgard. Oh my God, Edgard, where is Edgard?
Will we be safe?
That's literally how they felt about us. But anyway, I was already here. So, and the people in Baton Rouge are like, well, we don't even know where that is. So anyway, but
Like that people.
I know they don't cover so much. But then since then I've been a librarian, I've been a substitute teacher, I've been a middle school teacher, I've been a high school teacher. I worked at Loyola, the public relations office. I was a mama keeper, a mother-in-law keeper. I've done all kinds of stuff. And then I'm a pool keeper. So anyway, just thought I'd throw that out there. 39 years ago. My original retirement date was 2027.
Is there irony in the fact that they called you all in on the same day as you were hired?
Well, they didn't though. We were let go in May, I believe it was May, but they said, but you have to stay until the end of September. Your last day of work was September 30th, and that was the irony, was that my last day was the day before would have been my anniversary. It was weird. At least
Keep track of.
yeah, well, that's why I remember it. But anyway, we had a laid off luau. We should have another one because I kind of got laid off again this week. My little gig in Shreveport, Natchitoches, and Rapides came to an end just abruptly this week, and I said, "Okay, thank you."
They stopped having football?
No, they stopped needing me to write about football, I guess. But St. Mary's, they won their first game last week. And Lakeview, they haven't won one yet, but I'm rooting for both of them. And the coaches in Alexandria were very nice to me. The Alexandria coach I called a couple times. The Buckeye coach, he was very cool. So I did make a few friends.
Good people.
Some of them did not ever call me back, but that's another story.
We have that at the river.
I figured I've spent probably half of my life waiting for men to call me. It's true.
Wasn't me.
No, you called too much. Anyway.
Couldn't get off.
There we go. We talked a lot on the phone.
I know, I couldn't get off.
And last week was the anniversary of our first date. We talked about that last week, I think. Went to the Saints game. Bought me chocolate. So I married him. All right, here we are. Week 5 of last week was week 4. So let's catch everybody up on what happened in week 4 of the football season. The game we watched, Coach.
The game we watched made her very happy. Hahnville and Terrebonne. Terrebonne, once again, Terrebonne has beat Riverside. They beat St. James. And now they beat Hahnville. They beat 3 of their 4 wins have been against River Parish teams. All good River Parish teams.
Yes.
Because you had their records up, they're very good.
Yes.
But they all have 1 loss, and guess it's 2.
Terrebonne was very good.
Terrible.
They were Very impressive on the TV screen.
They could really run the football.
Bear. His name is Quincy Adams. They call him Bear. I don't know why, but it could be because he's a large young man. But
And fast.
and
Big and fast. Ran for 291 yards and 4
he
touchdowns.
has 800 yards already this season in 4 games.
I told you, he ran for 300 yards the week before against St. James. So that's 600 between them. He must only had 2 against.
And I saw today, and I don't know if this has changed, but I saw today, he's like a no-star recruit. He's got no offers yet. He will. It's not over.
He's fabulous. He's having a great year.
Yes.
Also at the game, very classy act by Hahnville.
Yes.
As they
recognized at halftime, they recognized young Patrick Jackson Jr., who is a Hahnville football player who has a very rare and aggressive bone cancer. They're doing a couple of fundraisers. We have invited them to come talk to us on the podcast.
The game was in Terrebonne. Terrebonne actually
Terrebonne,
did the fundraisers.
Yes, and gave him a gift basket with gift cards and honored him. It was a very nice gesture.
Has parents on the field.
And Patrick Jackson Sr. played at West St. John in the early 2000s. I covered him. I remember him very well. And this is his son that his high school career got interrupted. We wish him well. But that was cool, Terrebonne.
It was.
Nice job. Way to go.
Other games we had, some impressive ones. St. Charles Catholic played De La Salle. And De La Salle is always a classic. They always play very, very tight games against each other. This year it was tied for about a quarter and a half before St. Charles pulled away by a final score of 28-6. Yeah, but it was early. It was 0-0 for or 6 or 7-0 for the first quarter and a little, and it just St. Charles is good. St. Charles is playing their back, and Wayne, when we talked to him, Coach Stein kind of said, "Oh, I think we'll be okay." Yeah, right.
You're 4-0.
He was sandbagging. He was sandbagging us.
Last year was the glitch in the matrix for St. Charles County.
He couldn't tell us that, but got some other notes here.
There was a fumble recovery by Briggs Anderson, I covered his dad, Brock, and Tyler Bovia. I'm not sure how to say that. Bouvier had fumble recoveries. Skylar Edwards had 139 yards and 2 touchdowns rushing. And quarterback Landry LeBlanc, I think of Friday Night Lights when I think of Landry, threw for 2 touchdowns. You know what, Landry, there you go. So that was a big game for St. Charles Catholic. They won, what was the final score of that game? 28-6, there you go. Letcher defeated Assumption 51-8. Dwayne Jenkins got his 100th career victory.
Congratulations, Coach Jenkins, on 100 wins.
Good job.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Takes football coaches a while.
No, the number that gets you in the Hall of Fame, the Louisiana Football Hall of Fame is in that number is 200. 200.
Ways to go.
You win 200 games, you go down as one of those guys. I always remember that number because Stephen Robichaud ended up with 198. Yeah, he was right there. I don't think he knew it or he cared. I don't know. But he was right there to get that number.
Well, it all depends on who's counting and who keeps track and don't lose track.
Well, football, everybody's counting.
Good point. Yeah, baseball, you lose track. In other action, Riverside Academy, a big victory. Beat St. Thomas Aquinas 41-0.
And St. Thomas Aquinas been playing well. They were 2-1 and they were had some nice wins. But we watched a little bit. Boogie Johnson, we're putting on a show again.
I saw one of his long runs in the highlights this week.
But their defense is so good. Riverside's defense is playing really well. So it's going to be a great season. They have, we're going to talk about
this week. St. James defeated Ponchatoula for homecoming, 54-0. Homecoming win. That's always a fun one. Don't want to lose homecoming.
No, and you picked the right guy.
Oh.
54-0. You picked the right guy. Everybody got to play. Everybody went home happy. And the bathroom was full.
There you go. Destrehan defeated East St. John. The score was 50-6. That's the 6th time in a row Destrehan has defeated East St. John.
What used to be a great rivalry, too.
5 overtimes.
Yeah, well, I mean, East St. John, Destrehan was their rival. They looked at that as a big game,
Yeah.
as their rival. Destrehan didn't look at them like
Yeah.
they looked at Onville. So it's tough when you're playing your opponent's big game and it's not yours.
Well, East St. John's big rival used to be Letcher, and they played. That was one of the oldest rivalries in the state. They had a flag that went back and forth between the two schools, and then they quit playing, and they don't play anymore, and the flag has been stolen. And, it was at one time stolen,
Well,
and they don't play anymore. So East St. John turned to Destrehan.
well, and they're in the district together, so they're always going to play.
Right,
You know, and 5A and 3A, it's kind of you don't always play. You're not going to play every year, and they're in the district together. So I remember making my first trip to East St. John. They try to intimidate you and all kinds of things. So it was it was a fun rivalry. It was fun to play. It was big games for them. And the reason, what made it a big game for them, Lori, tell me. Destrehan stole their students,
Oh yeah.
stole their players. Damon
Can't
Mason,
prove it.
Damon
Can't prove it.
Damon Mason, Rondell Mealy,
Can't prove it.
and the list
That's
goes
a
on.
rumor. That's just rumors.
Well, I've seen a home run at St. Charles Catholic hit Rondell Mealy's mother's roof. Waggy Wagisback hit it. Just to say.
Mackie Wagisback.
It hit it, and it landed on Rondell's mother's house. I don't want to say he didn't live in.
Quite a few home runs.
I don't want to say he didn't live in LaPlace.
That's rumors.
But see, but he went to school because his grandma took care of him
Right.
in St. Charles Parish. So he was even as a child, he went to the elementary school. He went to the elementary school, but he was eligible to play there.
All right. One more. West St. John. Yeah, they got on the win column. Defeated Homer Christian. Come on, Homer. 47-14. First win for the Rams. That was a big win. They needed it, but we knew as soon as they got their schedule leveled off, they were gonna get in the win.
Well, I'll give you an idea. When I was at Riverside, and Coach Lee Roussel wasn't there yet, and I had to write a schedule, I called Homer Christian. Make sure, because I didn't know who was going to, whether he was really going to come, what was going to happen. I had to have some games in there I thought we might win. We beat him so bad the first year. The second year, he asked me if he could get out. And, of course, I told him no. Good, a game's a game, And so Homer Christian, they're doing the best they can with what they got.
They're new. They didn't have a Homer Christian or a Covenant Christian when I lived in them. They had Vanderbilt Catholic, Bourgeois, Terrebonne, South Terrebonne.
Well, Covenant Christian's doing great. So, both sports.
There you go. Yes, indeed.
When we come back, we're going to talk about this week's game.
Next week, week 5. We're halfway through.
Halfway. We're going to talk about week 5.
Come back.
Brought to you by Colonial Exterminating Company, a local family-owned company that will help you get rid of your termites, pests, and rodents. They're a Christ-based company looking forward to serving you.
Brought to you by Robert Hemel at Edward Jones Investing on Belterre Boulevard in LaPlace. Trust Robert with all your investment needs. Brought to you by LaPlace Glassworks, your trusted local glass company since 1984. Give us a break. We'll fix it.
I hope you enjoy hearing from our sponsors as we come back from that quick commercial. Please, the people have been great to us. They keep us going, help pay for our little, whatever this thing is, the company we're using.
StreamYard.
Yeah, they ran the price up on us this year. So I got a bone to pick with them.
We're still working on Marty's microphone.
But they are definitely keeping us afloat. So we appreciate that.
We need to call Plus Glass. Broke a window
last night.
Yeah, well. Anyway, all right, week 5 of the prep football season is upon us. We're halfway. We're to October. Week 5.
You know the best thing happens in October?
What?
No more heat and humidity timeouts.
No more heat and humidity
Even though it's still 100 degrees.
89 degrees.
I know. It's still bad, but they cut it out come October 1st.
But what's cool is this year there will be football played on Halloween night. Big rivalry, Hornville Destrehan play Friday night, Halloween night.
I can only, the costumes are going to be crazy. Riverside's having a Halloween parade around their new track.
They redoing the track. They used to have trick or treat. Like you would bring your kids and people would sit on the track in their lawn chairs and they would give out candy.
Well, they're going to do it this year again. And they sit on their lawn chairs for every game, so it ain't nothing new.
I thought it was amazing.
Just the kids will be cruising around.
And then there were trunk or treats in the parking lots. One year I had to work and somebody had to take Laura trunk or treating. She was Hannah Montana that year. I remember that picture.
But it's going to be fun to see all the schools, what they do.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I hope. There will not be enough toilet paper, so get ready. All right, week 5. Terrebonne is at Destrehan. They get to see what they can do against Terrebonne this week. Terrebonne won last year, 31-30. That was the first time they won since 2019. Terrebonne has not done well against Destrehan in the past, but this might be their year.
And Coach Scott talked about that in his little thing about how good Terrebonne was this year and how they did beat them last year. And it was shocking because they had a good team. They ended up with a 3-way tie for first last year. So the big 3 are back. If they can knock off Destrehan, they're going to have a pretty good stranglehold on the district championship.
Is the district championship over? Or no?
They still have the big, the other teams. They have to play against Central and Thibodaux and HL and East St. John, so you have to play out your schedule.
Well, like I said, okay, we won, we quit. I mean, but I mean, they could clinch it.
But let's be honest, of the 3 that have the best chance of winning, you were picking the district from top to bottom. They would have to beat the other 2 teams already.
But stuff can happen.
Yes, but it'd have to happen twice.
Good point. East St. John travels to Thibodaux. Thibodaux won last year 28-6. The Tigers this year are 4-0 under former St. James QB Lowell Narcisse.
Noel's done a great job. There's always been athletes in Thibodaux. It's a matter of getting them all on the same page, disciplined and doing things right. And obviously through 4 games, he's got it working. So we'll see this week. He plays East St. John. And then
they beat Central Lafourche last week 46-6.
And then he'll have his sights set on Hornville, Destrehan, and Terrebonne.
There you go. Hornville this week is at HL Bourgeois. It's the second straight trip down to Houma for the Hornvillians. Last year, Hornville won 42-0.
Don't let that fool you, because they met again in the playoffs, and it was very, very close.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Bourgeois had a chance to possess the ball with trailing by less than 7, and they weren't able to score. Hornville scored again and broke it open, but a much different game than the first time they played during the regular season. So Bourgeois is, a lot better, and everyone acknowledged that in our little comments.
Bourgeois was terrible back in my day.
And I'm sure they still are.
They still are. My boyfriend was Bourgeois. Yeah. Letcher is at Vanderbilt. Everybody's going home this week. Go to La Casa del Sol, Mexican. Letcher is at Vanderbilt. The Terriers are 4-0, coming off a 50-20 win over Morgan City. The Bulldogs are 2-2, and Letcher won 33-0 last year.
Yeah, I think Letcher's better. Terrebonne. Vanderbilt.
The Terriers.
Vanderbilt's been playing better this year, but I think that Letcher's going to be too much for them. Too much speed, too much size.
Making a prediction there.
I am.
This one's going to be interesting. Riverside Academy goes to Vermilion Catholic. And Vermilion Catholic won last year's game 49-34. This year, the Eagles are 1-3. And last week, they lost to Erath 24-14. They've also lost to Brobridge and Catholic of New Iberia. What does that tell you, Coach?
Oh, I don't think they're anywhere near as good as they were last year. And they had a little running back there. I mean, quarterback, running back. He was really a runner more than he was a quarterback. And he was fabulous. Played shortstop. But, I think he's at Nichols playing baseball for them. Really good player. They're not the team they were last year. And I think Riverside's
Riverside
going
could get some
they're
revenge.
going to get some revenge. If I'm not mistaken, and if I am, you can take this out. But I think Vermilion Catholic made it to the Dome last year, and then we saw them again. So they were very good last year. Now,
that was their year.
That was their year, and they had the right pieces and parts.
There you go.
St.
Charles Catholic is at St. James. St. James won last year 15-11. St. James coming off their big 54-0 win over Ponchatoula. St. Charles Catholic is 4-0.
St. James is 3-1.
There you go.
And two really good programs.
That's gonna be a great game.
This
is the fun one.
That's gonna be
if I was still a reporter for the Times-Picayune or the Advocate, they'd say, Lori, can you go to this game this week?
No problem. I look forward to it.
Watch the air conditioning.
Are they at St. James?
At St. James.
So they're playing right there on Highway 20, 3127.
There you go.
Gonna be a perfect night. Hopefully, this be a great night and a lot of fun. Those are two good teams, And St. Charles just has a way of taking teams that are very aggressive and very fast and just slowing them down, making them play in the box, and being successful. And they're doing that again this year.
West St. John is at East Iberville. West St. John won last year's game 52-32. East Iberville is 1-3, losing to Donaldsonville last week 36-0. I think West St. John might get its second victory.
It looks like that. They both lost to Donaldsonville this year, so that's not a surprise. But East Iberville has struggled over the last few years, and I think this is an opportunity to get two in a row.
Could be a good one. It's going to be a fun week. We're halfway through the football season, regular season. Well, we will be after this one.
Will be. That's crazy.
Real quick.
Well, I mean, and things go fast. And once the season starts, look at the college football.
I know.
Those teams. They're all having big games that mean so much. LSU and Ole Miss. Tulane and Tulane and Ole Miss after that loss and having to have a big game against Tulsa. And coming up with a win this week, they're off. Tulane takes this week off, and and LSU just keeps grinding them out. It's a tough situation in the SEC, but one week after another, you just got big games.
Harlem Berry got in the game last week.
Harlem Berry got in.
Got his first touchdown.
Harlem runs hard.
We saw Harlem Berry a lot at Riverside County.
Yep.
Played for St. Martin's.
And Harlem's a good player, and they're just kind of feeding him in a little at a time, but down the road, a year or two from now, he'll be their main guy. And, Harlem's a good player, and played for Frank Jadusa and Kevin Dizer, and they did a great job with him, and he's a fine young man, and it'll be fun to watch.
There you go. All right, what else do we want to talk about?
We can talk about professional sports if you want, but New Orleans would have to get one.
We still watch.
I know. And this week wasn't as painful as the Seattle game.
I mean, they're in it. They're just not finishing. They're
well, the team.
It's not embarrassing.
Let's be honest. The Bills are very good.
Well, no kidding.
And the Bills aren't going to let them win.
And we played with them.
And then we were in the game. There was some things, a razzle-dazzle pass that ended up being picked off, and that cost some points. And
what they were thinking.
And they just things that
Let's try this.
Well, you try things when you're not as good as the other team. And
with Taysom Hill, the Swiss Army knife is back. Maybe that'll help.
Back. Well, it can't hurt. But
maybe the spark we need.
It'll be good to see him back on the field.
Yeah. We'll still watch. We'll still root for him. Oh, how about the Monday night? Was it the Monday night game? Sunday night game? We got a tie.
That was a fabulous 40-40.
It was a great game. It was a football. And I was like, wait, it's over? They played to a tie?
Green Bay and Dallas, 40-40 tie. Just back and forth, even in overtime was, fun to watch. Good teams are fun to watch. NFL, college, it doesn't matter. College has a little bit more, a lot more excitement because of the bands and the students and all. But, the NFL has a great product too.
That's why I like those West Coast college football games that come on at midnight when he's going to bed. And I'm like, I'm watching Hawaii and Utah and BYU.
But it used to be everybody else was playing two backs under the quarterback, handoffs, and the West Coast was just swinging it all over the place and putting up big numbers. And it's like now it's moved all the way, and that is college football now. You don't have a quarterback who can pull it down and run. You don't have a quarterback.
It doesn't matter whether it's high school, college, professional. Anybody can beat somebody else on any given day. You just never know. Sometimes it's the bounce of the ball. Sometimes it's an injury. Sometimes it's a terrible referee call. Anything can happen. And that's what makes it fun. That's why I like it.
That is the exciting part, It's a bad day. It's an injury. It's something that breaks.
Bad play calling by the coach or a fumble or, okay, let's try this. Oh, that didn't work.
We're 5 weeks into college football and they're already firing coaches.
Oh, my God, I know. How do you do that?
It's rough. It's a tough way to make a living. Coaching is a tough way.
You're depending on 20-year-olds for your livelihood.
They are.
Yeah.
As a high school coach, you're depending on 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. You got guys out there that
broke up with their girlfriend at the lunch recess, and now he's got to go pitch or play quarterback that night.
You might have a guy running your offense who doesn't even have a driver's license yet. You just don't know. It's what makes things interesting. It makes it exciting. And you're right. We used to tell our players' girlfriends, look, don't break up with them on game day. You can break up with them after the game.
Do you know how many times, like,
Bo Jones, plenty.
No, but on Riverside, they've come to me and said, I had a fight with my girlfriend. Well, you can't have a fight today. It's game day.
Yep.
Get over it.
What you bring on the game,
Or they have the flu, and and they can't, if they don't go to school, they can't play. So they come to school throwing up in my classroom in the garbage can.
Gotta play.
Done that.
There's only 10 of them. Only 10 games. You can't set them out.
And then they get hurt. And now they follow in NIL money, and they think the grass is going to be greener somewhere else, and they go, and then they find out, I should have stayed where I was. We won't name names.
We're seeing some of that this week.
Mm-hmm. They're taking red shirts. I'm going to sit out the rest of the season and find a new place to play next year. Okay,
or hope these guys do. The guys in front of me find a place to play next year. You get some of that going on. Or like my daughter's going through. She's there on the field, and one of their top players, a senior linebacker, he gets his knee blown up. And he's gonna have to have surgery. He's out for the year, and probably his career's over. And it's sad. She was all upset because her relationship with the players is so important to her. Mm-hmm. And to see the pain in their face.
And not only that, wasn't he far from home, and
they were in Tulsa.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right.
They were in Tulsa, so the parents didn't go to Tulsa.
Right.
And so they had to call the parent from the locker room, and tell them here. And she knew, she watched the game on TV, so she knew he got hurt. The doctor wants to talk to you. Oh Lord, can only imagine what that mother's thinking. So it's not an easy world, and football is a violent sport, but it's fun to watch, as a spectator. All my career's not many wins and losses.
Not anymore.
Football, whoever it was, but.
Oh well, there you go.
But we worked hard, in football season to be good. So.
It's good to be retired.
Sometimes.
Yes, indeed. All right, that's it.
Okay, cool, babe.
All right, that's it for this week of That Sports Couple. I think we've caught you up on everything that happened last week and might happen this week and is going on in the world. And if you're in the neighborhood at the Norco 100, this is the wrong Norco, but that's all right. Come visit. Come say hello. There's food, and I don't have to cook it.
And play people walking around. Come enjoy the day. If you want to watch a little football, we'll have the door open.
Yeah.
Come on in.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Even if we don't know you.
Don't come to the front door. It's still broken from Hurricane Ida.
Well, nobody ever used the front door anyway.
Nope. All right.
Oh, it's been a wonderful week. Get an Uber. You know where to find me. And hey, one thing you know for sure, we love you.
We love each other.
Good. You can't laugh before you tell it.
I do. Hey, Marty,
Yeah, Lord.
you're laughing already. Hey, Marty,
Yeah, Lord.
how do football players stay cool?
Now,
They stand next to the fans. Bye. I like that one.
Brought to you by Colonial Exterminating Company, a local family owned company that will help you get rid of your termites, pests, and rodents. They're a Christ based company looking forward to serving you. Brought to you by Colonial Exterminating Company, a local family owned company that will help you get rid of your termites, pests, and rodents. They're a Christ based company looking forward to serving you. Hey, this is Coach Marty,
And this is Lori.
and it's time for That Sports Couple.
What?
Brought to you by
Diamond Distributing.
Colonial Exterminating Company,
Edward Jones, C. Robert Email.
Wendy Benedetto, Matter in Blue,
Sports Pub, Dustin.
Adam Roussel, Riverbend, Chiropractic, River Parishes Trophies,
The Seafood Pod. Laplace Glassworks.